Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Yaschandasam Vrishabho Vishwarupaha Chandobhyodhyamrudaat sambabhuva samendro devadharano bhuyasam shariram me vicharshanam jihva me madhumattama abhyam bhuri vishruvam brahmanah koshosi medhaya pihitah shrutam me gopaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Bhadram Karnebhih Shrunuyam Devaah Bhadram Pashyamakshabhiryajatraah Sthirairangai Stuštuvagum Sastanubihi Vyashema Devahitam Yadayuhu Swasti na Indro Vruddhashavaah Swasti na Pusha Vishwavedhaah Swasti nastarsho Arishtanemihi Swasti no Bruhaspatir Dadhatu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Padam Shankaram Loka Shankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavad Vyapta Dihaya Dakshina Murtaye Namaha. In the tradition, various methodologies are employed, called as prakriyas. The purpose of prakriya is only one: to discover the non-dual self, the non-dual Brahman, that is me. Some of the prakriyas, Panchakosha prakriya, discussion about 5 koshas. Avasthatraya prakriya, discussion about avasthatraya. Sometimes Shruti or Acharyas talk from the creator and the creation and then come to the individual and show that they are one. Sometimes they start from an individual and show that there is no individual, it is only one vastu. Like what you say, bottom up or top down. So here also, in this Drsya Viveka, it talks from individual. Though the truth is one non-dual vastu, the so-called duality is mithya. Mithya means it is an nama rupa, not a vastu. No other vastu has been created. The so-called creation is nothing but names and form. Now to show this, as I said, they start from an individual. Last time we have seen, who am I? Rupam Drshyam Lochanam to Druk, onwards we came. I am Drashta, I am Sakshi. Then how come there is an individual? Therefore, the last time we saw this Kriya, Chitchaya veshato buddhau bhanam dhistu dvidha smruta eka ahankritihi anya syat antahkarana rupini. And the next verse, we had seen the last verse, Chaya ahankarayoraikyam taptayah pindavat matam tadahankara tadatmyat dehaschetana tamagat. And now we have to start from the 9th verse. Sambandhino sato nasti nivritti sahaja, etc., etc. Though we say this explains this doubt, we say if whole creation is Brahman, which is consciousness, which is awareness, how do we find certain vastus as jada? There are two things, inert and conscious things. How can they both be expression of one vastu? That was explained in last 3 verses, 6, 7 and 8. How the Ahankara arises. Just a prakriya to explain. This Chitchaya Veshato Buddhau. The Antahkaranam is called Buddhi. This Antahkaranam is a special thing. Why special? It is made up of Sattva aspect of Maya. Being composed of Sattva, it has a capacity to manifest the consciousness as though in the form of sentience. Last time I gave an example, like even the rays of a sun is, you can say, Trigunatmaka. It is heat, it is light, and it is energy. Each ray of the sun contains all the three, heat, light and energy. But you just take a piece of an iron ore, comes in contact with the sun, that iron ore piece will manifest as though only the heat aspect of the sun. But when you say each ray is nothing but heat, light and energy, there is a light there, there is an energy there, but manifestation is missing. And you take a piece of glass, a mirror, that mirror manifests as though two things, the light of the sun and the heat of the sun as well. Like an iron ore, that piece of the mirror or glass becomes hot. You see the sun is reflected, it is hot. And the mirror, though not illuminating object, becomes an illuminator by itself because it manifests the light of the sun. So also the composition of Antahkaranam is such that it has a special capacity that it manifests the sentiency or the consciousness. In Shastra, the Antahkaranam is often referred, especially in this Drsya Viveka, as Buddhi. The entire Antahkaranam is called Buddhi. And this is a figurative use, like saying, when the sun enters the mirror becomes illuminated. Like Upanishad Vakya, Tat Sruštva Tadevanupravishat, as though consciousness entered into it. There is no question of entering. You can enter somewhere where you are not. The very mirror is in the sunlight. Outside also was sun, where the mirror is placed is sun, but it is as though enters. It is available there as a light. So also, Constituents aveshaha. Aveshaha means as though consciousness enters into where? buddhau. Okay? Then buddhau bhanam. The buddhi becomes awarer. It becomes self-conscious. Antahkaranam is jadam. Maya karyam. Maya being jada, it is inert. But that inert vastu becomes conscious. Why? As though entry of the Antahkaranam of consciousness, in the Antahkaranam of consciousness. Consciousness is akhanda. Just as the sun is akhanda, undivided, all pervasive. But just by mere presence of let us go one step further. Mere presence of 2-3 mirrors, the sun becomes as though khanditaha. There are 3-4 sun available. One is a square mirror, one is a round mirror, and one is a big mirror. So there is a small mirror, small sun, square sun, round sun, and big sun. The akhanda sun has no question of entering into that. There is no avesha, there is no pravesha. This pravesha is impossible. Like saying, our standard other example, the space entering into the pot and you have pot space. But here, this avakashavada doesn't work, pratibhimbavada, because there is a question of sentience. When it enters, then Antahkaranam becomes sentient. And in this Antahkaranam, which has become sentience by the pravesha of it, bhanam, these two dvidha smruta, it becomes twofold. In the Antahkaranam, twofold vrittis become possible. What kind of thought form? What kind of twofold? Eka ahankrutihi syat, anya antahkarana rupini. There is same mind divides itself as a subject as well as the object. Exactly like in dream. In the dream, we will see in the later part of the text, it will come after 10th and 11th shloka, that in the dream is nothing but the projection of the mind. But in the same mind as though becomes subject, and the same mind is as though object. So there is aham vrittihi, ahankara, individuality comes in. And that aham is of what nature? Then he says, we saw it in 7th shloka, chhaya ahankarayo aikyam, the obtaining consciousness in the Antahkaranam, the obtaining self, as though like obtaining sun in the mirror, like obtaining sun in the mirror, obtaining consciousness in the Antahkaranam is called chidabhasaha or chitchaya. This is just technical word. Now that chaya or chitchaya or chidabhasa and ahankara tayoho aikyam bhavati. How taptayah pindavat. And this is what taptayah pindavat, we call it as anyonya adhyasa. The mind becomes sentience. There is no example to explain this. The phenomenon is unique. The mind becomes sentient, which is by nature jada. And in that mind there is I sense. That I sense, that I is conscience. Why? It borrows the sentiency from the consciousness. And the size, like the sun, in obtaining in the mirror, there is I sense. It becomes an individual. The brightness is belonging to the sun, and the size, etc., belongs to Antahkarana. Like taptaya pindavat, standard example. The jada mind, which is limited, becomes sentience. There is third entity, aham, which borrows sentiency from the self, obtaining chit chaya, and gains the limitations from the Antahkarana. So I am limited sentient being, I am an individual, is born. Chit chaya. Taptayaf pindavat. The standard example is, here is an iron ball, which is by nature cold. If it put in fire for some time, the fire which is in a way formless, there is no specific form to the fire, and having put that ball for some time, you take it out, the third entity comes out. What is this? We call it a fireball. The fireness, the heat and the light belongs to fire, but the ballness belongs to iron. The mind, Antahkaranam, the limitations belongs to Antahkaranam, and the sentiency is borrowed from the consciousness. So there is Ahankara, Aham Vrittihi. Okay? Somehow, how this happens, that is called Anirvachani. That Buddhi and Abhasa Chaitanya, Chaya and Antahkaranam are intimately connected, intimately united like that fireball. Iron ball is hot and glowing, and due to the association of fire, that Antahkaranam is glowing, becomes sentience by mere presence of consciousness obtaining as though within that Antahkarana. Like the sun obtaining within that mirror as though. It is not within, it is without also. Like obtaining sun within the mirror. Similarly, consciousness obtaining within the Antahkaranam. Because of that, the jada gets sentiency, and there is due to the association of the jada buddhi, there is a size and shape. There is I who is limited. Drashta, pramata, karta, bhokta, etc. is born. And that sukshma sharira gets connected to sthula sharira, thereby dehaha chetanatam agad. The body also becomes sentience. That means the division of jada and inert vastu is only this. When you suppose a jada vastu is endowed with subtle body, sukshma sharira, it will become sentient. In moment the sukshma sharira leaves that jada vastu, it will come back to its own nature as though it will be jada as before. It was sentient for some time because of the presence of sukshma sharira, which itself becomes sentient because of chidabhasa, as though presence of consciousness obtaining within. Right word, the better word would be manifesting within. Like the sun manifests as light in that piece of mirror, and when it gets connected with this gross body, it becomes sentient. So the Bheda of Jada Chetana is not absence and presence of consciousness, it is due to absence and presence of Sukshma Sharira. Like some padartha, some objects are hot and some are reflecting sun shining. That Bheda is not because that there is no sun over there. It is because of their incapacity to manifest. I can give you still some better example. Just take a piece of glass. It may not reflect that sun as much a mirror. It becomes hot, but if you paint it the backside with silver color, it gets converted into mirror. The manifestation of sun, it suddenly becomes a source of light. And remove that silver color from the behind, as though sun goes away. It is not the case the sun was there and sun went away, so it is now no more reflect source of light. Sun was there, sun is there, sun will be there. Only thing is that Vastu has lost the capacity to manifest the sun. And where there is mirror, there is energy as well. But you require special panels which can manifest the solar energy, and it can convert that energy into the way you want. Each ray of the sun has heat, light and energy. That is its swarupa. They are not three things. You say there is a threefold expression. Therefore we say, like Satchidananda, it is heat, light and energy. Only manifestation is missing due to upadhi, the medium, that incapacity of the mirror to manifest the power, the energy of the sun. So through that mirror, you cannot light up the tube lights, you cannot heat the water, you cannot do anything other than. It just reflects light. And through those solar panels, you have the energy to do certain things. Where there is mirror, where there is iron ore, there is energy. Where there is iron ore, there is light as well. So also, Sattva Pradhana Sukshma Sharira becomes a medium for manifestation of sense Chaitanya Atma. Why? That obtaining consciousness, reflecting consciousness as though in the Antahkaranam is called Chidabhasa. A new entity that is Anirvachani. It doesn't belong to any of them. Ramana Maharshi gives a beautiful example. Swamiji elaborated in Upadesh Saram. Like this marriage, Indian marriage. It is not American marriage, RSVP, you know how many coming. This is something. See, Indians are good in, they discovered zero and all that, because they are very good in mathematics. When there is a marriage, they how many people? 400, 500, no detailing. They will say, just cook for 500 people. Huge. And in that marriage, the bride and the groom, so the groom family come to the bride, we call it Bharat, they come, and they have to be treated. And there was one fellow in between. I remember when we were in hostel, those days we never get a good food in the hostel. So, and especially on Sunday, they don't give you evening, because cook wanted holiday. They have a fish, but then stomach don't have holiday. So there were some of our friends who were expert. They will just sneak into some reception and marriage, and eat and come back. They quietly will go. They are boys. They do all kinds of things. That's an age where you want to be adventurous, So this fellow went there. And the bride's father, he says, the groom and his friends want this kind of thing. They have to be treated. They want to eat this, they want this kind of thing, and the father, bride's father, provide. Having gone there, he says, have you brought these things for the bride? You are supposed to, as per our custom, you are supposed to give this thing to the bride. This fellows gave. Slowly the demand became so much. It was too much for both these father-in-laws. So somehow they decided to check with each other and apologize. Now we cannot fulfill your demands. So bride's and groom's father met and said, I am sorry, I cannot do this you are asking. It's last moment. We cannot do this. That fellow said, I am also sorry, I cannot do this. Both of them thought, who is this? Who told you this? And both of them looked at that fellow. He disappeared. So that is Ahankara. Vicharam na sahati. Ahamayam kuto bhavati chinvataha ahipatatyaham nija vicharanam ahaminasha bhajyahamaham taya sphuratirutsvayam. That's a Upadeshara. Anyway, forget it. Ahankara is like that fellow, imposter. How, why, no answer. Okay, don't ask me. Why Bhagavan created Ahankara? But why? The people always have a question. Why, when was the first creation made? When was the first day when the Jiva was born? That is Anirvachana. And therefore, they say, you are hit by the arrow. Who shot it, from where shot it, why shot it, forget it. Remove the arrow and get going. That's all it is. So somehow, this is Anarvachaniyam. Maya karyam is Sukshma Sharira. Sukshma Sharira, the Brahman or the consciousness being all pervasive. Sukshma Sharira is a capacity to manifest the Chaitanyam in the sense of I, the Aham Vritti comes in, the I sense comes in. In that I sense, the sentiency belongs to the consciousness, and limitations belong to Manaha. And taptayaf pindavati. And that Antahkaranam, when it comes in contact with the sthula sharira, it becomes again sentient. Tadankara tadatmyat. When that Ahankara gets connected to the gross body, dehaha chetanatam agad. The body gains conscience. Relatively, I can give one modern example. Your car engine has a capacity to convert the static energy into kinetic energy. You fill the gas and switch on the engine chetanatam agad chitchaya veshaha. By contact of the engine with the gas, engine becomes kinetic. And when that engine is fitted into the chassis of a car, chassis per se doesn't move. But then with the connection of the engine, the Jada chassis also starts moving. In Bombay, of course in many of the metros there is Kabaddi market. There is a market. There you will find all chassis available, beginning from your Impala onwards, and modern cars. Everything, the car is right there. But you open the bonnet, there is nothing. In Baroda, there used to be near Nyay Mandir, when I was studying, it was called Jatpat Studio. There was a studio which will give you quick picture. They used to have car chassis. In those days, it was big thing to have car. People used to have a picture of themselves in telephone, holding phone and talking. Telephone was a big luxury. So there will be car and you will be sitting and driving the car. And he will take a picture. Car had no engine. He just put a chassis over there. And then there was no glass even. Everything useless, gone. No glass, no wheels, nothing. He will take only half picture. He will not show even the wheels. There was no seat. He had put a table. You will sit on a stool and take a picture. Literally it was like that. You sit on, you must have seen in Baroda. You just sit on a stool holding a steering where it's not connected, it is tied with a rope. And you have a picture. The car, the chassis which is jadam, which cannot move by itself, starts moving because of the contact with the engine. But that itself is jadam. The car is made of iron, let us say steel. Engine is also steel. But engine has some unique capacity to convert that gas which is static energy into kinetic. So also Sukshma Sharira is Jadam Maya Karyam, Sthula Sharira is Jadam Maya Karyam. It is Panchabhautikam, but then it is made up of Sattva Amsha, like an engine which has a capacity to manifest, to become sentience for obtaining consciousness. The obtaining gas in the engine, in the system, makes the engine kinetic. So also Antahkaranam, whole Sukshma Sharira becomes sentient, and when that Sukshma Sharira comes in contact with the Sthula Sharira, when that engine gets connected, is fitted into a given chassis, the chassis also moves. Dehaha chetanatam agad. Body becomes consciousness. Now, then that's okay. Like body, the engine became moving and the car became moving. How come there is individuality? Engine doesn't say, I am only 1100 cc, I am 2800 cc engine. This is Vikshepa Shakti of Maya, which we will see in the letter of this book. Ahankaras, last sloka we had seen that last time. Ahankarasya tadatmyam chitchaya deha sakshibhihi sahajam karmajam brantijanyam trividham kramat. There is threefold identification. Please understand, this prakriya, this whole methodology is given to understand that Ahankara is mithya. Don't get into words and so much, but just try to understand. They are trying to explain this. There is a threefold identification. That consciousness being all pervasive, and that it has unique power called Maya Shakti, and because of Maya Shakti that there is a Sukshma Sharira, that is also fact. And because of Sukshma Sharira, that there will be sentiency, Chitchaya Veshaha Aham is natural. Like the sun is all over, and there are some mirrors or some reflecting medium, a pool of water or a mirror or some shining object, it will reflect the sun is natural. That first thing is called sahajam, natural. It is happened. This is how it is. Sentiency of Antahkaranam, existence and the individuality, that Ahankara, Aham Vritti being born, sentient Antahkaranam is natural. But then, that Ahankara, that Aham Vritti, which I sense that is born, sensuous I am, self-consciousness, taking itself to be limited is called Bhranti, or in the known words you can say Vikshepa Shakti. That a mirror, we will see Vikshepa Shakti later in this book itself. That in the mirror there will be a sun obtaining sun, there will be round sun, square sun, small sun, big sun is natural. This is how it is, system is. You can say nature is. Now that obtaining sun in the mirror, taking itself to be different from the next one and different from the one obtaining in the sky, and taking itself to be limited and small and square and blurred and whatever the condition is, that is called Bhranti. Okay? That there will be shining sun in mirror is Sahajam. That sun take itself to be like this is called Bhranti, commonly translated as delusion. And that sun, this is Vyavara. that sun identifying or uniting with the gross body is called karmajam tadatmyam. Okay? That there is a pramata, chitchaya, and antahkaranam is sahajam. Pramata, there is a cognitive person, aware, just conscious being, as we saw today, is natural. That conscious being, this is Ishwar Srishti. That conscious being takes itself to be limited is called Ahankara or ego. And it is sentient because of Sukshma Sharira. And that it comes in contact with a particular body because of prarabdha, that is called karmajam tadatmyam. Okay? Born out of karma. Ahankarasya dehena sah sanyojanam. Ahankara or pramata uniting with the gross body is only because of prarabdha. And Ahankara, existence of Ahankara, that I am limited, that is taptay of pindavat, like that iron ball, who borrows that I sense, the mere sakshi, witness, bare pramata, is a conscious because of the consciousness, chitchaya, and because of that limited mind takes itself to be limited, that is called Bhranti. Ahankara enjoys the status of being a conscious person, that is because of obtaining consciousness in the Antahkarana, Chitchaya, Chidabhasa, the presence of consciousness, which is all over, happens to manifest over here, and this ego, Ahankara, Pramata takes itself to be limited, for it identifies with the mind. And that Sukshma Sharira, when it unites with the gross body, that is called union is because of prarabdha karma phala, and that is called karmajam tadat. Okay? The law of karma is the law created by Ishvara. It is Ishvara Srishti. That there is a pramata, there is a pure consciousness, individuality, pramata, chitchaya, aveshaha is again Ishvara Srishti. But the chitchaya, aveshat, ahankarasya janmaha is Bhranti. Okay? So what does the knowledge do that is being talked in the 9th shloka? Just look at this. Again I'll remind you that there is a reflecting medium, like there is a mirror, that there is a reflected consciousness as though is natural, that there is a Chidabhasa is natural. But that Chidabhasa somehow takes itself to be I, individual, that is Bhranti. Okay? What does the knowledge do? He says, look at that. Next shloka 9. Sambandhino sator nasti nivritti sahajasya tu karma kshayat prabodhacha nivartete kramadubhe. Sambandhino sator nasti nivritti sahajasya tu. Karma kshayat prabodhacha nivartete kramad ubhe. nivrittihi sahajasyatu nasti. Freedom or termination of sahaja, that which is inborn, that which is natural, of what? Sambandhinaha, of these two connected, is not possible. What is not possible? What is not that? What is natural? Consciousness is natural, Ishvara Srishti. Sukshma Sharira is Ishvara Srishti. And Chit Chaya, the consciousness obtaining in the Sukshma Sharira, the sun obtaining in mirror is natural. You cannot separate that sun from the mirror. If there is a mirror and the sun being there, there will be a sun, Chit Chaya, some reflecting medium obtained. So that Tadatmyam or oneness, that Ahankara, that Pramata enjoying consciousness, existence of that Pramata, existence of conscious being is natural. Chit sambandhinaha nasti sahajaha sahajasya sambandhinaha nivrittihi tu nasti. What is the sahaja sambandha? The sambandha of the piece of mirror and the sun. You cannot terminate that connection. If there is a mirror, if there is a sun, they will be connected. In which way? In creating a reflecting medium. There will be some reflection. That will be some source of light and a source of heat as well. Now, what is another one? Karmakshayat prabodhacha. He talked about three tadatmya. Sahajam, Brantijam, Karmajam. The connection between the subtle body and sthul body continues till the prarabdha is. You might have seen in the 15th chapter, Utkramantam sthitam vapi bhunjanam va gunanvitam vimudhananu pashyanti gnana chakshusha. What? Manashasthani indriyani prakrutisthani karshati. The Ahankara, whom we call as Jivatma, is always united with Sukshma Sharira. The karma phalas, they are the upadana karanam for a specific body. The Ahankara goes to that body with the Sukshma Sharira. Continues there in that body with the Sukshma Sharira. And when the prarabdha kshaya takes place, Ahankara walks out with the Sukshma Sharira. Karma kshaye. When the karma comes to an end, when the Ahankara has to vacate the house, he vacates with his own baggages. Manashasthani indriyani karshati. Utkramantam takes away the whole Sukshma Sharira. And moment Ahankara goes with the Sukshma Sharira, moment you take out the engine from the chassis become jada. So this Sthula Sharira becomes jada. It was jada, it is jada, and it will be jadam. It is only due to the presence of Sukshma Sharira, in between it became sentient. And the presence of Sukshma Sharira in the body is there because of Ahankara being there. How long Ahankara is there? Prarabdha is there. So, karma kshayat, this goes. Tadatmya goes. And there is a bhranti, there is a confusion, like the iron ball taking itself to be fireball. I am the round fireball. I am conscious, limited being entity, the tadatmyam of Ahankara, Aham vritti with Antahkaranam, that sentience, Pramata with Antahkaranam and claiming itself to be limited, that tadatmya goes with Prabodha. That identification is born out of ignorance. As I said earlier, because of the Vikshepa Shakti of Maya, in moment that Maya means ignorance, moment it is destroyed, it goes. I had discussed this last time, but still I would remind you the definition of the Sukshma Sharira. You might have seen in Tattva Bodha. It might be before Christ, that long time when Vijayji started. Now he has reached to Mandukya, so I am sure it must be BC, not AD. That's the first text we teach. The definition of Sukshma, what are the constituents of Sukshma Sharira? Apanchīkrita pancamahabhutaihi kritam satkarmajanyam sukha dukkhadi bhoga sadhanam pancha jnanendriyani pancha karmendriyani pancha pranaha manaschaika buddhischaika evam saptadasha kalabhihi yastisthati tat sukshma sharira. I think I have seen you somewhere. It looks like heard somewhere. Anyway, it is Panchamahabhutas in Tanmatra. 17 things constitute the Sukshma Sharira. What are they? 5 senses of perception, 5 sense organs of action, Pancha Pranaha. Those we are responsible factor for all physiological function, and Mana and Buddhi, 70. That remember, that is Mana Buddhi is Antahkarana. You can say 60 if you take Antahkarana as a whole. And that Antahkarana, as I will say, is Sattva Karyam. So it has a capacity to reflect, manifest the consciousness. Like the sun obtains in the mirror. That somehow takes itself, the consciousness, Chit Chaya, takes itself to be Ahankara, individual, limited entity. And that takes this. What is this Antahkaranam? Sukha, Dukkha, Bhoga, Sadhana. These are the means for Jivatma to experience Sukha, Dukkha. They are the means for Jivatma to exhaust karma phalas. In what is the Sthula Shariram? Sukha, Dukkha, Bhoga, Ayatanam. It is an abode, house. Like even you stay in some apartment or some hotel, or say you have an office, that is your contact point. Of course, nowadays office is all not required. Email, is there. But that's an office. But how do you interact with the world outside? What are the means to interact with my clients and suppliers? The means is telephone, means is email, personal talking, etc. So Jivatma abides in the body and goes out of the home. When the Jivatma comes in, Ahankara comes in, it comes with all sadhanas, all indriyas. And when he goes, he takes away everything. Therefore, when the baby is born, like even slowly indriyas manifest. Like even when you check in the hotel and you have to go to the office straight, put the baggage and leave, you will just take out certain toiletries or tie, etc., dress up and push off. And if you stay 3-4 days, the whole bag is empty. And suppose you have to go after 2 days, you start packing up. When the baby is born, first Gnanendriyas open up, then Karmendriyas open up, then Antahkarana open up, starts manifesting. first thing to open is tongue. Something keeps eating. Then the eyes open up. Eyes are there, but this is a golaka. It starts functioning, observing and identifying slowly the differences. The sense of touch has not come. Therefore, if it wets, it doesn't cry for 6-8 months. Sense of smell is not there. Mother smells, she doesn't smell. Jnanendriya, hearing doesn't work. When they play with the baby, ululu, chululu, they shout and they call him, baby doesn't hear. He sees some cartoon. So liking for cartoon film starts from there. Sees the parents and grandparents making all faces, baby is wondering. The Jnanendriyas open up, then Karmendriya slowly learns to use the hand. Hand is there, Grahana Shakti Nasti. Legs are there, doesn't walk. Starts walking, starts talking. So in Gujarati and all Indian languages they say, Abhi paav aa gaye, abhi jeeb aa gayi. Tongue has come. Tongue was there. This is the irony of human life, It just takes 2-3 years to learn to talk. But sometimes even one life is not enough. How not to talk? The fellow doesn't learn. Whole life passes away and the fellow doesn't learn to stop. Anyway, at the age of 2, Antahkarana opens up. And moment Antahkarana opens up, that is a seat of Ahankara. By 2, there is Ahankara, individuality comes out. Like that engines of the satellite, first engine is fired, the second engine is fired, the first engine is 2. Therefore in English they say terrible 2. When Ahankara opens up, the Ahankara is nothing but embodiment of likes and dislikes. So now it manifests, I want to do, I don't want to do. Individuality comes out. And the second engine is fired when the child is at 14, 13, the teen, second engine. Same state, when it was 2, 3, mom says, do this, no, I will not do. Same 14 also. He just wants to be on the own. And when the time comes, packing starts. What did you say, Swamiji? This is packed up, that's all. Swamiji, that is packed up. Pranas are packed up. Samana Vayu opens up slowly, digestion. Vyana Vayu, Udhana Vayu, all Vayus get packed. The Jivatma goes with it. And the engine, first engine, to take him out of the gravitational force is very powerful. That first engine is Udhana Vayu. It throws out. Thank God it is generally dormant. Udhana is not activated. It just like Kumbhakarna, sleeping. Sometimes it turns here and there. Sometimes it blabbers in sleep. What is that? Sneezing, yawning. There is very little manifestation of Udhana. You can't stop it. It has come. I don't understand this Western custom. If somebody sneezes, hach, everybody says, bless you. And this fellow says, sorry. Why should I say sorry? I didn't do it deliberately. If I had done deliberately, I could have stopped it. You can't stop this. Vomiting, you can't stop this. And when Prarabdha Kshaya takes place, count down, 9, 8, 7, 6, etc. When it comes to 0, Udhana takes everybody and goes out. This is the seat of Udhana Vayu. Therefore, you press this, our Shastra says this. Udhana is activated, like Kumbhakarna being woken up. We were sleeping. Supposed to wake up after 6 months. This Kumbhakarna is sleeping, supposed to wake up at the time of end of Prarabdha. It wakes up and the Jivatma goes out with all Sukshma Sharira and connects that Sukshma Sharira with another Sthula Sharira. That is a Vishesha Upadana Karana. Samanya Upadana Karanam is Ahankara. Vishesha Upadana Karanam is Karma Phalas, Prarabdha. Is his or her Prarabdha, first let us say its Prarabdha, decides whether that it will be his or her. The Jivatma has no linga. Depending on the karma, the linga is decided and the yoni is decided. That is a Vishesha Upadana. That there is Ahankara and there is a karmas, there is a Samanya Upadana Karanam. Jivatma goes from one body to another body. This identification, oneness, that sambandha, connection of Sukshma Sharira with the Sthula Sharira will continue as long as there is a Prarabdha. Once the Prarabdha is over, Ahankara moves, Jivatma moves, taking the whole Sukshma Sharira. Because Ahankara is the one who has to give and take. Sukha Dukkha, Bhoga, Sadhana, Ayatanam. So he has to exhaust some punyas and papas, receive some sukhas and dukkhas, and give some sukha dukkha also sometimes. So that fellow, that individual moves when the prarabdha kshaya takes place. And the prarabdha comes to an end, whether that ahankara wishes or not, it has to go. And whether it wishes or not, it has to enter. So, sambandhasya karma kshayat nivartate. When the karma kshaya takes place, when the prarabdha comes to end, this connection breaks. And that tadatmya, existence of ahankara, that bhranti goes when the knowledge takes place. Prabodhat ubhe kramat. The second one, the Brantija tadatmam, identifying myself, the individual taking itself to be limited, that sense of being limited goes when the knowledge takes place. Little another way to explain, when I say I am so and so, that I amness in that so and so belongs to consciousness. Like the fireball, the fireness in the fireball belongs to fire, and the ballness in the ball belongs to, in the fireball belongs to iron. I am man, woman, I am so and so, executive or son or whatever, engineer or doctor. That sonness, doctorness belongs to body or buddhi or iman, mind, etc. But I amness belongs to the self. These two cannot unite. That is a Bhranti. How come I, the self-evident, self-revealing, conscious being, takes myself to be I, this limited entity, that is Upadhi Tadatmyam, is Bhranti. That goes by knowledge. That I am man or woman is incidental. I am engineer is incidental with reference to buddhi. I am Sukhi Dukhi is incidental with reference to mind. I am hungry and not hungry, well and unwell. It is all incidental because of prana. Exactly like a person saying, I am beggar, I am king, I am chief of police. This is incidental to the role. If that actor wears the role, he will be a police. Wears the dress, he will be a king. But taking myself to be really a king is a Bhranti. That is identification. Actor has a space. Understand the word space. Cognitive space. Even when he or she says, I am king and queen, he knows I am not. That kingship is only incident. The way he talks, the way he conducts, the way he behaves, is incidental. Then the king enters, there is royal we. Hum padhar rahe hain. I am entering. And nobody is there on the stage, they will do like this. Hum aa chuke hain. We have arrived. Where are everybody? Will be the tone. This fellow was playing a role of a king and thinking went home. He was trying to improvise the dialogues and all that. He was so absorbed in the role. And when he entered, hum padhar chuke hain. She was cooking. And with that balon and a stick, roti making thing. Who? No, sabji लाने की थी क्या मैं भूल गया. She said, what did you say? He said, no, nothing. I was just asking, was I supposed to bring vegetables from the market? Have I not forgotten? That is called space. Okay? The kingship is incidental. Taking it to be real is Bhranti. That is cognitive space. That continues tadatma, identification with the dress, that I am so and so. It becomes real because of ignorance. In our words, with reference to this text, I can say, in absence of Drsya Viveka, when I have no discrimination, when I identified with the scene, actor is identifying with the role, becomes one with the role, sambandha will be there. Actor, even on the stage, has a connection with the dress, but Bhranti is not. That identification goes by prabodhat. Suppose he really takes himself to be that. That is of ignorance. That is of tadatma. That is of vikshepa. And that can go in only when the knowledge means there is a cognitive space. To take myself to be really this I am man. That is my reality. That manness is upadhi. I amness is consciousness. That is taptayaf pindavat. That iron ball. Fireness and ballness unites, becomes iron ball. Individual, sentient individual being comes into existence. That is because of tadatmya. And that is a Bhranti. And that tadatmya goes. That is why the translation is termination. You need not physically remove. Actor need not physically give up the dress to say, I am so and so. The termination of kingship takes place when he has cognitive space. He has a knowledge. When the Bhranti, when the identification is removed in the light of Drsya Viveka, he sees that I am not this, I am not the king. This kingship is only incidental. Then Ahankara, the existence of Ahankara, which was born out of Bhranti, goes. Just one more point I would add here to explain you. You have to imagine the fellow really took himself to be king. Always behaved as a king. Always talked as a king. Then discover, oh, this is not me. That Bhranti is gone. And he may continue saying himself as a king. That is a destruction of Ahankara. The removal of Ahankara, not destruction. The Ahankara discovers that I, being a king, is incidental. Even then he may say, Hum padar rahe hain. That ego is what? I'll connect to this Puja Swamiji's word. That is enlightened ego. Understand? There was ignorant ego who thought himself to be really king, and now there is enlightened. Formerly fellow really thought I am man or woman, etc., etc. Mano buddhi ahankara chitta ninaham, the knowledge takes place, and they ask, right, who are you? And suppose you are on immigration counter. I am pure consciousness. It doesn't work. It doesn't work there, okay? Especially American immigration people, You can't say that. Where are you going? I said, going to him. Who is he? You cannot say he is my student. Another question. You are a student. So you are a professor? No, I am not professor. I am a religious teacher. Oh, you teach? How much are you paid? That is another problem. They can't imagine that without payment also you can teach. Who is this fellow? He is a friend. Yes, I said friend. What do I say? He saw my passport. He saw all the country. You have so many friends all over the world? I said, yes. I wish I too had so. This time that fellow told me in Canada. I said, you can have it. He said, how? Become Swami. Then he asked, how to become Swami? He asked me. I said, we'll talk next time. Because by the time he has stamped and given me the passport. I said, it's a long explanation and others are waiting. We'll see you sometimes. I keep coming here. Anyway, I'm coming after 4 months. Oh, good. We'll see you then. Have a good day. Same to you. Jai Swami Narayan. Anyway, coming back to this, that Bhranti needs to go. Enlightened ego, though we use because there is a Vyavaharik Samta, individuality is there. But you can say this, there is a 180-degree difference. When a wise man says, I am Swami, and Subramaniam Swami says, I am Swami. This time in Acharya Sabha, I told this. When I introduced him, he was here in December in ashram, and everybody was there, So now this is a Swami introducing Swami. One is a Swami by lifestyle and one is a Swami by name. So anyway, I'm not saying that, don't judgmental, that he is ignorant or wise, whatever. So when a wise person says I'm man or woman, and when an ignorant person says I'm man or woman, there is a Bhranti there. And here there is a space, cognitive space, that I being so and so is incidental. Prabodhe nasti. That identification of Ahankara, of individual, that pramata vid upadi, in other words, the existence of Ahankara is not there, is terminated after the knowledge. We'll see further in the next class. After half an hour. Half an hour break?
But we are running little late.
Quite, so it's okay.
It's okay. So we'll have a half an hour break.
So,
And